rings. Nice. Okay, it says the cats have taken the night off. They're around here somewhere, but they're not in the destruction mode as of yet. So this is your next Earth incarnation. I know many people are like, "Oh, don't do that." I explored it a little bit yesterday. I'm not going to go too deep into it this time, but at least I'll put that energy out there. You can kind of get your own version of it, whatever. It's different for everybody, but at least it's something that's been coming up recently. I've heard it every once in a while in the past, but also Atlantean pyramid technologies and Rubik's cube realities. This is kind of like a Rubik's cube reality, trying to find our way out of all this. Good luck with that. Just when you think you're out of it, you're still knee deep in it. So you just got to concentrate on your own energy, your own self, and not try to save the world. You can try to save the world, see how that goes. Yeah, just do your thing, whatever that might be. Easier said than done, of course. I'm talking economy, price sessions. The shop schedule here. Shop here. I'm on the 24th, I think. For some people, not everyone. Same situation here. Social network. Webinar, which I have a link coming up. Social networking behind the scenes. Yeah, I haven't sent the email out yet. I forgot. I can go into more of these details of this type of your next Earth incarnation. So I guess the Ukraine thing didn't. I guess the band plays on with the whole Ukraine thing. I guess that's. Oh well. Hopefully that was going to heal itself. It still can after the capital of Ukraine is taken down. Unfortunately, jeez. Oh well, it's none of it's easy. So. No, yeah, it's not an easy subject matter, of course. It's enough of that. Their next Earth incarnation. So that usually comes up here and there about am I going to come back here or not. So it all depends. It's kind of complicated. I mean, there is you can say a theory that you just keep coming back here over and over again. But it's different ways of looking at that. You can come back as a spirit guide. It doesn't mean you have to be a good spirit guide. You just come back as a spirit guide. There's one spiritual person that has a huge following. I thought that she was a pretty bad spirit guide. But yeah, she has a huge following. Figure that one out. That's the vibe I got. So trying to say, hey, I'm not messed up. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, okay, now you're a cult leader. So whatever works there. Yeah, nobody's perfect. But yeah, it's kind of it's a complicated subject matter. So it's just do you have obviously people are burned out from this lifetime. But what if after you leave here, it's like, well, okay, what if you were have a good life, like if you're a weatherman or something like that in another lifetime. If you look at the weather person, female or male, they live pretty easy lives. They get paid a lot of money to just tell, especially if you like them in somewhere like Arizona or something, where it's like, okay, it's hot today. The next day, okay, it's hot with a little wind. The next day, it's hot with a little dust. And you go back to being hot again, 90%, whatever humidity or whatever it is, or whatever. So they live pretty decent lives overall. I mean, they said the easiest job in the world is a weatherman or weather person, whether woman, whether man, whatever. So, but what if you come back in a lifetime where you don't have as much stress as you have now, but that entices you to come back? So what if you didn't have the hell that you're going through now? It's like, what if you're just a little bit better, or obviously maybe 50% better? Doesn't mean you have to win the lottery. There's another example. It's funny. I'm going to like media for this, but this is what I've caught way back. I'm not gonna mention this person. It's in our area. I'm not gonna mention the name, but I could. It'd be funny actually. Maybe one day. But anyway, there's this news broadcaster that's in the morning show, like the morning traffic person. He's not a traffic person, but it's like a personality, in the morning. And he had like a little TV show too for the newscaster. Just like it's like a kind of like a mindless talk show. Something I guess all talk shows are kind of mindless, but he has like a half an hour fun talk show. Also, so he had it for a little short time. Anyway, he has like the most decent life you can get. Kind of stays out of trouble, out of life, and just things just work for him. I can show you who it is. It'll be funny though, but I'm not going to do that. But it's not a hit or anything like that. But it's like you coast through life was actually pretty decent. You're pretty wealthy to a certain degree. You have an easy job and just BS on the radio, and just you have family and all that. You probably have cookouts or whatever it might be, and complain about the little mundane things in life, and that's it. So, is that the kind of life that you want? Or you guys, you can be wealthy also. Would that entice you to come back here? And what if there's a lot of, you know, things there that you regret? Like some of these billionaires, you might have a big company, but you're kind of selling yourself out at the same time. That's definitely a way of challenging yourself for sure. Especially when you spend the next 10, 20 years or wherever it is to clear that karma out. So I guess it all depends on how you look at it. But of course, some people feel there's no karma, but I guess karma finds its way in some form or another. Well, anyway, yeah, I think it does. I guess you could ignore it for a long time, but I think it's going to come back to you eventually. Not to say I have to have an incarnation like that, but it's like what gets you excited to come back here? So it's something to think about. It's like, okay, this life's been hard. I'm not coming back here. But if some spirit being say, yeah, but what if we give you all this other stuff? Maybe you have the life that you do want. It doesn't mean it's going to be perfect. It's going to have its problems too. It's like, because you're still bringing, you have history of this world, so you kind of know how it works, obviously. You can help the other starseed beings that are incarnating here. And you might be here just to give some advice to some stranger. So you incarnate, have this whole life, and it might not be too exciting, but then you're actually there to give advice to some starseed being that was in their minds. Who knows? It's always going to be clear, but there's usually you're clearing out a lot of stuff within yourself or working on certain situations. So like usually it's a financial side of it. If that was a little bit better, would that make things better? Not always, but it's like what gets you to come back here? So you'd be surprised. Some people will say, I've had enough of this lifetime. I've had enough of being me. But when you go into spirit, you see why you've had all those challenges. Obviously, you're challenge free there to a certain level. I mean, you're not going through it anymore. You still have issues because you see all your difficulties, and you can see, wow, being on that world was hell. But I also, found out new things about myself that I didn't know about, or whatever it might be. So it's complicated. It's a complicated subject matter. It's not an easy one. Some people feel like they're being cursed coming back here. I can understand that. But some people have had lifetimes some people here that are having trouble here cause a lot of problems here. So you wonder why your life is so difficult. Probably because you caused a lot of problems here to begin with. So now you're dealing with it. Now you're facing a lot of it. And you look at other people that are living their life and you're sitting there going, where's my life going? So, well, yeah, if you're a warmonger in your past life, which many have been, and maybe it's just as well you don't remember. There's a lot of that here. So, a lot. Speaking for myself, yeah. So, sometimes you take those lifetimes for reasons. So, yeah, it's just a very touchy subject. Like you say, like you're going to come back in this incarnation, some people are ready to scream. You don't have to think about it, obviously. Just some people, just focus on this life. Just future life. Nobody knows after you leave here. I mean, you might have some idea, Like there's a little cotton candy in your mind. It's like, well, if I had those certain things, if I lived in the Bahamas or somewhere, maybe I can deal with this place, something like that. And so it's I don't know, as we go into this new phase, or I don't know if it's a new phase, but spirituality becomes more advanced. It gets more complicated. You start understanding the spirit realm. Yeah. Okay. I've had enough of that. Okay, we're going to Atlantean technologies and then Rubik's Cube. The next life energy, we'll see if I can bring in somebody to connect with that energy. Doesn't have to go too deeply into it, but some people probably not going to like what they hear. Doesn't mean that people will definitely come back here. That's not always not necessarily. Some do come back. Not everybody. I don't think everybody comes back. Why would they do that? That makes it kind of mundane. But some souls do come back over and over again. Doesn't mean everybody does that, though. Yeah, so it's complicated. So, all right, blessings. Greetings. We are from spirits. You can say we are the elders. We are connected to different perspectives. Souls that go into the spirit realm after having a hard incarnation here, yes, are not exactly ones to reincarnate on their planet anytime soon. They're still going through usually at least 10 years of your years of healing. Usually it doesn't take much longer than that. It all depends on the being. Yes, some beings do spend an eternity. Some beings do. They spend a long time as a ghost frequency, meaning you can be in spirits and having a good time, but part of your vibration is still here living out your life. And some actually enjoy that. So yes, this world's covered in ghosts, as some of you know. Yes, you can be a spirit being and just living the life, but part of you is still here. And they want to have some, and that's another part of their incarnation. So it does get a little bit complicated there. So some people are having difficulties here, usually are going to just leave altogether. But some that had relationships, situations, or didn't get the love of their life, or whatever that might be, usually is a relationship vibration. But also, of course, kids get stuck here also for various different reasons. Well, they're looking for their parents, or looking for love, and that's part of their incarnation process, to spend time here as a ghost being. So, but those that are going to the spirit realm that choose not to incarnate here, some do find ways of talking themselves into incarnating again, and some talk their way out. Yeah, so connect to other alien energies. Some will go to other parts of the universe to get away from this planet. It all depends on the situation. But realize, no matter where you go, this world's going to be calling for you, no doubt, because it needs all the help it can get. So if you're even a problem child here and you're just causing nothing but hell for everyone, but you actually improved a lot, the world calls on a lot of souls to incarnate here. So some of you might feel the echoes of it. It's like, yeah, you might be done your incarnation, but you'll be on another planet, light years away from this planet, and still feel the vibrations of it calling for help. And there's a lot of that. Yeah, this world doesn't. I mean, yes, this world is kind of like a demonic world, as you can see. It is. It figured out how to connect to the lower realms, and it doesn't know how to get out of it. It's like it went down to the basement and can't seem to find a way to. It's like the basement's filling up with water and everything's getting more complicated. It's like no matter what, this world tries to move into a higher frequency, it finds a way to fall back. Even the spiritual communities get infiltrated in some ways. You see the cults of your past. The Druids tried to, elevate the vibrations. I mean, the Babylonians tried to elevate the vibrations of there. Even the Christians have tried to elevate the vibrations, as what you're doing today. And as you can see, there is progress. There's always progress, but there is always challenges. And the more energy you have to incarnate again, of course, the more the better. Because will take anybody can get to assist. It gets complicated. Some of you are part of the councils that are part of the incarnation cycle here. Basically, the beings that choose to incarnate here. Basically, you're part of a council that helps other souls understand the difficult. So if you had a difficult incarnation, obviously many souls are going to be coming to you for advice. Doesn't mean you have to give them advice, but they'll let them understand what kind of world they're getting themselves into. And some of those are the alien beings that have been channeled through here. They're still contemplating an incarnation here. Blessings. Greetings. We got the Atlanteans on many different levels. Yes, there are Atlantean beings that are controlling your reality. They're using technology. Yes, pyramid technologies. They're using technologies from the astral. So you can see those beings that send your world into what it is today are responsible of getting the world out of it. So some souls are completely lost themselves. Some Atlantean beings are still ghosts here. Usually it's in the oceans. They can be other places, but a lot of them are in the ocean spirit beings. And they do have a lot of power there. Usually you're not hearing about it on the local news and things like that, but because that's where aliens are assisting that. But there are Atlantean beings that still are living out their lives in another dimension, as some of you are very tapped into. But the pyramid technology, so even a ghost being, Atlantean ghost being, can actually shift your reality. They're that powerful. Not always for the best, of course. Many are still wanting to have power over the earth. So a ghost being or just a fourth dimensional spirit energy that just can't seem to let go of this world. Yes, they do have a hardship and anger towards humanity. Obviously, not all Atlanteans are like that, but many are. Because they want to be back into the physical, but they want to be the ruling class. It's working kind of through, elite groups and the elitist people, but they really want the Atlantean beings want the earth back for themselves. So the pyramids, you can say, shut them down from reality, meaning put them where they are, keep them from bothering you. Yes, they might be bothering you from another dimension. This world just has a lot of layers connected to it. As you can see, I don't know, unraveling them does not take one lifetime, it takes several. But just a single word can help others, a single sentence, a trigger, energy. And sometimes, yes, words are very powerful. You got to be careful what you say, but usually it's kept back. But yes, you might incarnate here just to say one phrase, one word, one sentence, whatever it might be. And obviously, you're here for other reasons too. Meaning, like before you leave the world, you'll say this. This as you see, many military people are talking about the secrets that they know before they die. Well, how many of you are going to do the same thing? Just of what your soul knows about this planet. He's like, yeah, I might have lived a normal life, but this is why I came here. And usually around the age 60, usually around the age 70 is when you start, spilling your guts, basically. That's why so many elderly are acting naive and strange, because they're really speaking their truths. Really, when it comes down to it, you might find it, uneasy, but yeah, they're trying. They've done everything they did. They've done their incarnation. Now they're allowed to unleash themselves on the world. So you get like a freebie, you can say, as long as I don't break the law. But as many of you get older, you'll see more of your spirituality open up. You might feel closed your whole life, and when you hit 70, not many people want to live that long, but when you do, you'd be surprised of how much you will unlock from yourself. And you'll see the beings that are here, alien energies, Atlantean beings, whatever it might be. You'll just know more about yourself. Doesn't mean you can't know now, but you'd be surprised what age can do for you. It softens you up, you can say. Well, you've had a third dimensional life here. You're here to experience what you are doing. So, all right, blessings. Greetings. I am an energy from Pluto. The Rubik's Cube realities. Basically, yes, you're not usually here to know everything. There are beings that come here to keep life a mystery, meaning their mission here, and usually in the astral realm, spirit realms, to make sure you don't figure things out too soon than you're supposed to. Because it can, if you know too much too soon, it can erupt a lot of timelines where things don't come into place as they need to. So you might have all this great knowledge for the humanity, but yes, it's a time and place for everything. You'd be surprised how many of you actually, I think you already know this, many of you actually channel your energies through other people. But you'd be surprised how many of you channel your energies through common people that you'll never meet. Sometimes, like, wow, this difficult person is really difficult around their family. Then one day, all of a sudden, they're nice to everybody. Sometimes that is somebody like one of those of you that are here to bring a new level of you've been doing this for a long time throughout history. Just it's not something you hear about very often. So yeah, if you feel like an energy that's around you is like, why well, I get this image of this person? Most likely that's who you're working through. Of course, they're assisting you also doing some kind of. There's there's an exchange of energies there. So I'm not always supposed to make itself completely clear. But this world is yes a mystery planet. Now, if they truly open up what's happening here, you definitely will see a lot of reptilians everywhere. You also see shark people. You'll see elemental people. Interesting. Yes, you'll see elemental people taking a shower, taking a bath, probably in your front lawn. Some just don't care. There's just realms here that are countless. There's at least 13 realities that are around yours currently that are alien to your modern world. That's all we can say on that. Your Agartha realms, it goes on and on. So yeah, a lot of the reptilian beings feel like they're doing your Earth a service. Just their job is to keep you shut down, as you can see. Because there's beings here, yes, wizard beings that feel like they have to, they're living their lives, keeping your planet, closed down. That's their mission. That's their mission from the hierarchies. Those who created them. Like, as long as they keep your world imprisoned, they feel like they've accomplished their mission. Of course, there's much more to their mission than that. Yeah, when it gets to the wizard realms, it gets to a strange place. But why is a Pluto energy comes through? Because we have seen all of these things, and our world has been, kept from your world, as you can see. Well, the reason Pluto is around is it's kind of an esoteric energy. It is there to look at things a little bit different. And Pluto has a lot of mysteries behind it, and everyone has a different perspective of it. Same as your reality here. Eventually, some of you probably already see this already. Realities opening up, doors, portals opening up around you. So not everyone has to see it, but if you see the energy changing, you're not always supposed to know everything that's happening. It's like the book, the timelines are being built around you, and you're getting assistance on many different levels. So there's beings that do come. If you feel like you're not alone, many spirit beings come in to actually rewrite your timeline to help you move things along. If everything's quiet, that means you're just on a swing set living out your life, whatever it needs to be. But if you feel like there's a lot going on around you, it's because your timelines are being shifted. And they're trying to figure out a way for you to get your mind a thought to get you on the right track, meaning they put a thought in your mind, but it's up to you to, acknowledge it. You can ignore it and go a different direction, or you can take that thought and go the direction that you're being led to. That will help you. Of course, that's not always the case. Sometimes lead you to more trouble. That does happen. That's why people are not always trustworthy when it comes to their mind. But usually the thought, a single thought, is to direct you which direction to go, as many of you know.